Welcome to This Explainer by Forge College. Today, we're diving back into designing multisig wallet contracts, specifically role management and access control patterns. If you caught our last lesson on implementing multisig mechanisms in Solidity, you know we successfully built a functioning wallet. But right now, it's kind of a lawless free-for-all. So today, we're upgrading it from an open house into an exclusive, rock-solid VIP nightclub. Let's get into it. Here is the architectural blueprint for today. We'll start with the access control problem, define our explicit roles, set up our modifiers as bouncers, and then write, test, and completely secure the rules. Section 1. The access control problem. Total multisig chaos. Okay, so you built a multisig where transactions are proposed and confirmed. That's fantastic. But here is the massive hurdle you face immediately after. What actually happens if your multisig has 0 rules? I mean, if anyone can just walk right through the front door, literally any random blockchain address could propose draining your funds. Or worse, they could try to blindly confirm a malicious transaction, like an annoying party crasher. Relying on these implicit, undefined capabilities leaves you in absolute chaos when you're trying to test your logic. Your test assertions just end up completely underspecified. And that is exactly why we have to cross the divide to explicitly enforced roles. We need to bring order and verifiable actions back to our smart contract. Which brings us to Section 2, defining the explicit roles, the VIP list. To fix all this ambiguity, we need to draw up a strict VIP list by adding concrete role management states directly into our Solidity contract. Think of your multisig as a highly exclusive club. You've got the admin, they're the club owner who calls all the shots. You've got proposers, the promoters who actually suggest the transactions. And then you have the approvers, the true VIP guests who hold the power to actually confirm those proposals. And you know what? The code for this is beautifully simple. We encode these explicit roles right into our smart contract state using basic Boolean mappings. One for proposers, one for approvers. It's literally just a digital clipboard checking if a specific address has a true or false next to their name. Really simple, elegant, and highly effective. All right, Section 3, modifiers as your bouncers, guarding the code. Because let's face it, having an exclusive VIP list is completely useless if you don't have someone standing at the door checking IDs, right? Well, in Solidity, modifiers are your bouncers. They stand right at the surface of your functions, checking that mapping state on the clipboard before letting anyone inside to execute the code. Uncompromising, strict, and exactly what we need. So we create 3 specific bouncers for our club. We've got onlyAdmin to guard role assignments, so nobody else can hire or fire staff. We have onlyProposer to guard the transaction creation process, and onlyApprover to guard the actual confirmations. Now, here is an absolutely crucial point, straight from our blueprint best practices. Placing these role checks as modifiers at the very surface of your functions keeps your access policy completely visible and auditable. You never want your bouncer hiding in a back room. You want them right at the front door where everyone, including security auditors and testing frameworks, can plainly see them. Moving right along to Section 4. Writing the rules, the permissions table. Now let's clearly map out exactly what each of these roles is legally allowed to do. Think of this permissions table as your holy grail. Admins can grant and revoke access, proposers can trigger the proposed transaction function, and approvers can trigger the confirmed transaction function. It removes all ambiguity. If your name isn't explicitly on that list, the transaction stops dead in its tracks, no exceptions. Section 5, testing the rules, foolproofing the club. As you'll see in a lot of our Forge College learning programs, defining these explicit rules isn't just about security, it's actually what makes testing your smart contract possible in the first place. Using frameworks like Hardhat or Truffle, we follow a strict blueprint. Step 1, isolate the state in a before each hook. Step 2, connect the admin to grant the role. Step 3, test the happy path. And Step 4, ensure unauthorized calls forcefully revert. Methodical, and completely bulletproof. And this brings up a core testing philosophy. We absolutely have to test both sides of the door. We ensure the authorized proposer succeeds without reverting, that's our happy path. But equally important is the failure mode, where an outsider tries to sneak in and gets forcefully tossed to the curb by our modifier. When that outsider gets rejected, the bouncer needs to give a clear reason, like the string, not a proposer. This revert reason is essential for debugging. Our test assertions need to know exactly why the transaction failed. This proves that the correct modifier triggered the rejection and not just some random unrelated bug in the code. Speaking of bugs, As you write your tests, you've got to be aware of some common traps. A classic one, passing a signer object instead of an address. That's going to instantly break your tests. Or forgetting to set your test fixture admin, which means your onlyAdmin modifier is going to block literally everything. Also, watch out for misplaced modifiers that bypass checks entirely, and make sure you aren't missing events when roles change, because those logs are a crucial validation signal. Okay, section 6, securing the wallet, the rock-solid multisig. Let's step back for a second and look at this highly secure, easily testable fortress we've just built. By testing explicit failures, keeping administrative functions as lean as possible, surfacing your access policies right on the functions, and emitting events whenever roles change, you have made your wallet infinitely more secure. It's ready for the real world. But explicit roles are really just the foundation. You've set up the velvet rope, you've hired the bouncers, and printed the VIP list. So are you ready to stress test your multisig logic? Because in our next explainer, we're going to dive into testing confirmation thresholds and pushing those weird edge cases to their absolute limits. Keep building, keep testing. That is the ultimate mantra for smart contract development. To master these advanced patterns, dive deeper into the wallets, account abstraction, and key management track, and explore tons of other Web3 topics. I highly encourage you to visit us at forge.college. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.